Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Financial Survival, brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver Trading on Melody Cedarstrom. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It is the 19th of August, 2011. And this program brought to you, it's Friday, and this program is brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver. And our telephone number is 1-800-375-4188. That's 1-800-375-4188. For all your gold and silver coin needs here at Discount Gold and Silver, give us a call. And, of course, for your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster, that, too, give us a call at 1-800-375-4188. Crazy day in the markets today. We have gold. You didn't give me the up number, Bob.
No, I'm going to give you the up number right now. $1,852.90. $1,852.90.
Up what?
Up 30.90, and it's higher right now. It's 40 cents higher right now. I'll explain that in a minute. Silver 42.80, up 211. Repeating, 42.80 up 211. The market is closing very weak. The Dow is down 173. S&P Dow equivalent is down 154, and the NASDAQ equivalent is down 231. Very, very weak close. The market's going to be off again on Monday, unless they come up with some extraordinary news. And we're close enough. I'll give you updates as we go along. But it's like I've been saying over and over and over and over again, and so hasn't Melody. You don't buy dips because, you don't know when they're going to happen. You do what I do. You buy every single month. Right, Melody?
Absolutely.
I mean, I just bought, I think it was about $8,000 worth of Centenarios 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the month before that it was MS graded, and the month before that, and then the month before that, and the month before that was all silver. And so that's what you got to do. You're not smart enough. You don't have the experience. You're in 11-year bull market. The trend is your friend. You don't think, you buy. I don't care what I pay, and I've told you that over and over again in this program. Gold's going to a minimum of $8,000. And by the time we get to the top in 3 to 5 years, maybe it'll be 10, but probably 3 to 5 years. I mean, that $1,000 coin that you bought will be worth $8,000. And if you get 100 of them, it's $80,000 more than what you paid for them. So oil was up 27 cents at 82.65. Some people follow oil. I don't have the USDX. And Melly, do you have it?
Yes, I do, Bob. It is, right now I'm showing down 0.25 at 73.97. I think it was lower earlier.
Yeah, it was.
Couldn't follow it.
It was up 50. But they'll make you talk about a goal line stand. 71.18 is long-term support.
Wow.
It was down there several years ago. I can't remember when it was, but you have to excuse my voice. I just did an hour and 45 minutes on another program, which I wasn't used to, but there was some big breaking news that we let go. And so I'm a little hoarse here. Anyway, it was a good day. The shares are all strong today. I don't know where they ended up. I haven't seen them for about a half hour. But I do have a sheet from earlier, about 45 minutes ago. And most of them were up around 3 to 3.5%, 3 to 4% on the day. So that's pretty good. open up higher on Monday along with silver. And if you're going to do any buying, you better do it now. The market closed very firm. But I will say this. I started watching this morning. Well, by 10 p.m. price, gold is up 19.30. This is last night. Excuse me, it's 11 p.m. And the silver was up 12 cents. At 4:30, gold was up 48.20. Silver was up 81. At 7:55, gold was up 66.20. Excuse me. Yeah, 66.20. And silver 126. That was the high. So the closing prices are off 50%. And I'm sure there was some profit taking, but the government was in there whining away as usual. They like to limit the increases. They've given up stopping it. They can't stop it. And they're not going to be successful. We're going to win. Pretty good?
Sounds good to me.
All you people are going to make a lot of money. I just hope you're all in on this thing.
You know, Bob, the thing that I've noticed a lot of hesitation with the prices being up here at 1850. It has the higher level has brought some people into the market, but on the other hand, there's a lot of hesitation. Actually, the hesitation comes from people who already own gold. It's the people who don't have any, and this is their first venture. They don't hesitate, but it's the seasoned buyer that hesitates at these levels.
So what they should think about is they're just going to have a higher average. So if they bought at 500 and 1,000, and now they're buying at 18, their average will be higher. It's no biggie. This is only the end of stage one. I mean, you know, I predicted all this in 2000. 4 stages, maybe 5. We already finished 1. Why would you even think of price? Do what Bob Chapman does. Buy every month if you get the money. And you shouldn't be in the bond market, or the stock market, or CDs, or cash value life insurance policies. Annuities. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. I got a few questions today here. I just off my satellite feed, which is a pain.
Or we could all go on vacation in Martha's Vineyard, Bob.
Oh, no. That guy's on perpetual vacation.
I know he is. It's incredible.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
Well, how a person can ever get into that position like him is unbelievable. But it just shows you the power of these illuminists.
Yes.
And their fair-haired boy is Rick Perry, Bilderberger. He went to 2 of their meetings. And I think we destroyed him today. And you'll find out about it. Anyway, the idea is to concentrate on getting Ron Paul elected. Yes, good congressional and senatorial people, almost as important. The Illuminati hates Ron Paul. Oh, and incidentally, they're having a Ron Paul money bomb. And when does it start? I think it starts today in the afternoon and through the weekend, I guess. It's Ron's birthday. He'll be 76. So he's 2 months older than I am. We've got to get him in office, unless you'd like to fight in the streets. And that's not a very good idea because it's awful. Awful. And that's what's going to happen if we can't get him elected president. And there's no guarantee even after he gets in there he'll be able to help us regain our freedom and liberty. We have to do everything possible, especially at the lower levels, primaries and straw polls. They're very, very important. And so, all of you people out there who think that Ron Paul would be a great president, join up with some group. Please. This is your last chance. Because we don't get him in, we're cooked. We did make some good inroads last election. Not as much as we'd like. Some of the people weren't as good as we thought. They've already been bought off. So we just kick them out. Get somebody else. But we got to get people elected to help him so that he controls Congress. And they're having a meeting in Miami, or Florida, I should say. I don't know if it's Miami. And I think it's this weekend, but I'm not sure. And they asked me to give them a question for Ron Paul. And I said, I don't have any questions. I said, you just tell him that he's got to enter a bill, even if it's not successful, doing away with the executive order, the President's Group on financial markets. They're rigging every market 24/7. It's got to be stopped. These bankers, Wall Street, they are ripping everybody. Ripping everybody. Anyway.
Well, yeah,
question.
his website is ronpaul2012.com, so folks can go.
Does it say anything there about that money bomb?
Well, they were just collecting donations, but no.
Well, they asked for $21.12 or 18 cents from each person who came. Evidently, they have a goal, and they think X amount of people are going to come in, and they're shooting for that goal.
No.
But, of course, a lot of you people are wealthy out there, and you made scads of money on gold and silver. It's your life that we're talking about here. If you can give them $2,020 or $20,020, do it. Or whatever you want. I mean, it's your life. The lives of your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
No.
I don't want to have another Revolutionary War. And unfortunately, I can't send them any money from where I'm at.
No, it just says, happy birthday, Ron. Let's celebrate his historic straw poll performance and surging momentum. With a fundraiser the establishment will never forget. And, folks, you only have $32,000 right now. So.
Come on, guys, get on your horses. You made a lot of money.
And they show the people. Well, actually, they're not really updating the people's names. They've just been showing the same ones over and over. But, your name will go across as a recent donor. So I want to see some names that I know.
Yeah, we want to see names that we know.
And if
I hope you do it. I mean, this is our last chance.
And
why do you think I work 40 hours a week on the radio and scramble? I'm perpetually exhausted. But I'll find strength in the morning to play golf because it's a charity tournament. And last year I was closest to the hole. And this year I'm trying to get a hole in one. And so isn't Judy.
all right. What time would that start tomorrow, Bob?
What's that?
That's tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
I didn't know about it until about a week or so ago. I had to cancel a program because this year it's for a young man who has cancer to cover his costs, and so that's what we're going to do. I think we raised about $20,000 last year, and it just is one club, and they do that every year. Okay, what do we got here? Gary.
You going to do yours first?
Of course, I always do.
No,
it's
not
age
always.
before beauty.
Not always.
And you're the beauty, so here we
Not
go.
always.
Sorry, I have one more question for today's show.
Okay.
Would you ask Melody why cleaning silver or gold coins detracts from the resale of the coin? If there is no acids used and you use a toothbrush with a little silver cleaner, soap and water, for really dirty pre-64, 90% coins, why does that lessen their value?
I mean, they're circulated coins. You just don't clean coins. If you want something clean, the only thing you ever want to clean is perhaps something that might be done professionally. It's just like artwork. You don't clean artwork and stuff. You have it done professionally. There's no purpose to clean any coins. Just none. Whether it matters on the 90% that I've seen, like the circulated $20 gold pieces, you don't clean those coins. It destroys those coins. It's very easy to see if they've been brushed, polished. Some of those VFs and XFs that are so nice and shiny that everybody thinks they're really pretty coins, well, wholesalers call them shavers. And the reason they call them shavers is because they're so shiny that you can see yourself to shave. So they call them shavers. You don't want to do that, so don't do it. Something comes in really nice and shiny, I question. Because you're not going to get a better price for them. So.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad I don't have to shave with a shaver.
You don't use your gold coins to shave with.
There you go. Well, he was talking about silver coins.
But, yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is from Ed.
And how would they let me just throw this in. What if dealers clean their coins? How would you even begin to know? They would clean coins and sell them as uncirculated. You just don't do it.
Okay.
The money bomb starts at midnight.
There you go. Be there. Intuitively, it seems that if inflation rages, then current prices would seem cheap. So, if you can borrow money cheaply, it might make sense to do so. Okay, this goes on, but I will make my comment here. I am a big advocate and have been for, I would say, about 4 years of the last 11, borrowing money to buy coins or shares or both. The leverage, as it's proved already, has been enormous. And you should do it if you can do it. Therefore, if interest rates go to 3.5% to 3.75% on mortgages, should I consider borrowing to buy a house? The answer is absolutely not. Because the price of the house will probably get down another 20 or 30% over the next 5 years, and then might stay at that level for the next 30 years. It's a lousy investment. Period. Don't do it. If inflation rages, still a strong chance of deflation. I skipped a line. That's what happens when you get old. If inflation rages, home prices will go up, but is there usually long delay in home price increases? I already told you. The answer is yes. Is there still a strong chance of a deflationary downward price spiral? And the answer is yes. But it's not going to be before. It's going to come after we have hyperinflation. And thanks for your question. And the next one. And this is from Point Shooter. This is from Rob. Would you please explain the mechanism for creating additional leverage with the graded numismatic coins, please? Is this a matter of the supply of bullion coins getting tight as precious metal demand rises so that people are forced into graded coins Question mark?
No.
My completely unfounded guess is that graded numismatics may offer less leverage than mining stocks, but also less risk, especially in the case of junior miners. Melody, take it away.
Well, I didn't hear his first question, but no one is going to be forced into graded.
Wait. The first question, explain the mechanism for creating additional leverage with graded numismatic coins.
The theory behind the graded coins is, and you need to separate them from rare coins and from semi-numismatics so that it's generic dates. Two different products, two different performance levels. And so we're talking about the semi-numismatics. So the mechanism for what? It's been a really long day.
Oh, my. You're making so much money that you can't think straight.
We shipped our little pails off today, and so it doesn't take us 6 months to do delivery here. So, what was his first question?
Okay, let's see. What do we got here? My completely unfounded guess is that graded numismatic coins may offer less leverage than mining stocks, but also less risk, especially in the case of junior miners.
No.
Could you comment? Melody!
Well, on that part, we'll go back to the $20 gold pieces. I don't know what the mechanism, but people aren't going to be forced in the $20 gold pieces because gold bullion is going to be disappearing. I think you're going to have pressure on all coins, on all sectors of gold and silver in the various markets, and I think it will fluctuate over a period of time. But what happens when you have panic and fear in the markets, you have people with wealth that flee to quality. And $20 gold pieces, mint state, will be served as a quality product to get into. And it's not a matter of a group of people going in one section. Every coin has a purpose and a place in a portfolio. And it's the suitability of each. You're going to get more leverage out of those coins because they don't make them anymore. It's a supply and demand. So they get the impact from two markets. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. You're listening to Financial Survival, brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver Trading. Quit that. I'm Melody Cedarstrom. I'm going to do that when you talk.
It's okay.
Is that okay?
It's mind over matter.
Is that what it is? No, that's mind over snort. 800-375-4188. That's 1-800-375-4188 for all your gold and silver coin needs here at Discount Gold and Silver. And your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster. Give us a call. And, Robert, please tell the listeners about the International Forecaster. Please.
Forecast is about business, finance, economic, social, and political issues all over the world. Published by email on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Runs around 40 pages each time. We have a hard copy that goes out twice a month for those who are not on the Internet. And everything that you need to know each week is in that publication. You can get a free introductory copy by going to theinternationalforecaster.com. theinternationalforecaster.com. You can also go to www.intforecaster.com. intforecaster.com. If you'd like a question answered, and we answer everyone, or if you'd like a copy of either, or if you'd like a copy of our latest gold and silver share recommendations, email us, and that address is Bob, B-O-B, at intforecaster.com. Bob at intforecaster.com. If you'd like to call toll-free, that number is
1-800-375-4188. That's 1-800-375-4188 for your complimentary issue and the international complimentary issue. It's been a long week. Complimentary issue to the International Forecaster, folks. Please do get your copy, get your subscription, and give us a call at 1-800-375-4188. And, of course, your gold and silver coins also here at Discount Gold and Silver. That's 800-375-4188. You know what, Bob? I guess I could take the easy way out and I'll just sell a bunch of $20 circulated VS, XS, just like everybody else. I could cut everybody's prices I know what they charge. I mean, I would come in probably $100 or more less than their prices, and it sure make my life easier. But you know what? That's not the right thing. And you know what? I guess always doing the right thing. You always have to work a little bit harder. You always have to, when you're selling the truth about things, most of the people don't want to listen. They'd rather just listen to, I guess if they're on TV or if they're here or somewhere, I guess they have more credibility. It doesn't matter that they really don't know what they're talking about when it comes to gold and silver, but just because they get some kind of a book, they might write a book or something, now all of a sudden they know everything, and all they do is end up putting a lot of question into people's minds, confusion. I think these people who have the abilities and to be on television, they should talk about why people need to buy gold and silver. Get people to understand why they need to buy it, how do they go about it. But then when they start recommending coins and they start beating up a sector of coins, they really should keep their mouths quiet, and because they've never sold one, and so they always usually have an agenda. And I've been hearing more and more, Bob, about overseas storage. And it's just like, I just can't figure out. I guess it's just, with the Internet, it's just a brand new world, and, things were a lot better without it. But anyway.
Well, I always say take delivery. And even when they bring up ETFs that take physical delivery, and it's verifiable. And there's some good companies out there with good people. Some of them are listed on the exchange and some of them aren't. But if you're going to put gold and silver outside the country, my feeling is, knowing what the American government's like, you got to be prepared to go and live with your money. And I've always felt that way. I happen to live in the third world, and I take delivery, and, it works out okay. But, it's not necessary. But, if you're talking maybe $1 million or $2 million of gold and silver coins, and you don't want to keep them in your apartment because you don't have the room, or you're afraid you might get broken into, then I can understand why you might go offshore. But it's really not necessary.
You know what, Bob? Offshore to me isn't what it used to be. 30 years ago, having places and things offshore, it was fairly secure. I don't think that's the same nowadays. And
no, I agree with that.
You have countries
you can't trust the Swiss.
You
don't know what they're going to do next. They just rolled on people with accounts. A lot of people are going to go to jail, for tax evasion, not filing. It's dreadful.
It's not what it is.
And the Swiss, they don't care.
And what part of one world government that people do not understand? All these governments are the same. They're all going to fail. They're all fiat-ended currency governments printing, and we all have the same outcome. So, to me, it's not like it was 30 years ago. And if you're a jet setter and you have a plane and you have a second place and you can pick up and fly, and but you're talking about, like you said, Bob, a couple $1 million. But anyway, let's get back to the questions. 800-375-4188. That's 1-800-375-4188 for all your gold and silver coins. And give us a call. We ship pretty quick.
I got one long one left, so you go.
You got a long one? Okay, here's one from, let's see. According to MSNBC, Bank of America will cut 3,500 jobs by the end of September and eventually could cut 10,000 as the nation's biggest bank aims to transform itself and deal with the overhang from the housing market meltdown. Is this the last breath of B of A?
Well, it's been a dumping ground, and I said that sooner or later they'd have to let it go under. And that probably will be the case. And, if you get an account there, it'll just be taken over by another bank. So I don't see any risk. You just don't want to have any CDs. Well, you really don't want to have more than $15,000 to $30,000 in that kind of a account. I don't advise it. And businesses got a problem because they need banks because they have to conduct business. And so the problems are a little bit different, or quite a bit different. And so I think Bank of America probably will not make it. I think they've been bailed out 2 times already. It's unofficial. But what it was about a year ago, and then several months ago. It's coming to light that the Federal Reserve has been secretly supplying funds to financial companies all over the world for 3 years. $61.1 trillion unaccounted for. And none of the money's ever been paid back. We're paying for that in inflation. And that's why you have to have gold and silver.
Will they be the one like Lehman? They'll have to have one fail?
Could be. I think Europe right at this minute is closer to Lehman than anybody else. And then today, the Holland, Finland, and Austria are demanding collateralization on the loans. There's no way they're going to do that. They've already committed the collateralization to the banks. They can't do it. The game's over. It has to be default. It's not only Greece. There's 6 countries. And it's good that they default. They can start over again quickly. They should have never been given loans in the first place. Who should lose? The bank should lose.
Yep.
If they, go out of business, who cares? Just get your money out of there before they do. Why do you think they're selling all this gold and silver and coins in Europe right now? There's very little export of coins for the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's like a rampage, especially in Germany.
And we haven't seen anything yet. I mean, I do believe there will come a day where product will be very difficult to get. And it doesn't matter.
Higher premiums.
Yep. And you know what? People will pay anything to get it. Because what's their alternative? Holding on to those useless dollars that they have.
Hey, incidentally, the numismatic coins, how much did they go up today? I know the bullion coins must have went up $30, right?
Well, they're based on percentages and so forth. I mean, we still charge the same premium, so that was just based on spot. But I tried to do a comparison before coming onto the program, and I just didn't have a chance to. But they were up, but they were following a little bit of spot today. Some of them were up a little bit more. But people are, supply and demand. And when you have these big jumps in gold, people don't do anything. They're the deer, in the headlights. They just stand. And the next thing you know, the things get away from them. And
that's going to cost them a lot of money and maybe their lives.
It's going to cost them a fortune. And just like we had that question the other day on shorting the treasuries, that wouldn't have worked. What happened to WikiLeaks information on a big bank that was supposed to be released earlier in the year that would prove a fraud? Was that Bank of America?
Well, probably. But, WikiLeaks puts out disinformation in behalf of the government. So you got to be very careful. I mean, I saw something about Sasha Fal in EU Times today, and that's the first time I've ever seen anybody come out and say they're frauds. And I've been saying it for 2 or 3 years, but, I don't I'll mention in my publication, maybe in the radio, and that's it. That's not what we're all about unless something they've written comes up. But that's the U.S. government at work.
Yeah, I know, Bob. I've gotten a lot of emails from people sending me her stuff over the years. And it's like, no, you can't. What does the big move in silver prices today tell us?
It tells you that there's tremendous investment demand. There's a tremendous negative short position by 4 banks that can't be covered. And the use of silver in manufacturing and production is far outstripping the above-ground inventory. And it's going to continue. I mean, people want silver, and rightly so. And don't forget, since 1988 officially, the government has been rigging the gold and silver market. And what should they be? Right this minute. $8,000 gold and $500 silver or something like that. So that's why it's so cheap. These nincompoops, they've given us a field day, us buyers. I mean, that won't happen in another 50 years, 100 years. I mean, this is a colossal opportunity, never, ever before presented to people. And it's a mental laydown. It's so easy to figure out. And not many people have. And that's okay. Somebody's going to lose money.
And there's going to be those that make money, right?
That's what we are.
Yep.
And that's why we're here to guide the people and help them and make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. If you don't want to listen, that's okay. I get my gold.
Here's a question in, Bob. It's a little on the lengthy side. It's about the dollar and debt will have to be revalued. His question number 1, if the countries in the United States have to write off the debt, if the United States writes off $20 to $30 trillion, wouldn't that make the dollar stronger and gold lower?
It would make the dollar stronger, but it would also accompany that dollar strength with a backing of the dollar by gold, and gold would hold its value. It wouldn't appreciate, wouldn't depreciate at the beginning. Because, no inflation has already been recognized as the world currency, or a backer of the world currency. And so, after all is said and done, it'll probably go sideways, and then you might say, well, look at that apartment building over there. It used to be worth $2 million, and they got it up for sale for $50,000, and I get 2 coins here. I'll go see if they'll take them for the building. And that happened before. Believe me. I know a dentist that in Chicago bought blocks and blocks of buildings. And he did it with gold. And that was a gold from the fillings and teeth.
His second question is, he says he needs an expert opinion about the financial crisis. He says it's much more. He says the financial system, including the U.S., Europe, Japan, they're all bankrupt, 70% of world GDP. This is not a boom and bust cycle. It's more. He says the ecosystem, both in the Gulf of Mexico and North Pacific, like the mega oil spill, radiation from Japan, are contaminating the world's food supplies. The crackdown of freedom in Western world, promoting freedom in the Middle East, but here's where you'll get your head broken. The war machine, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, Pakistan, And I guess now, Bob, there's demands on Syria, and they're beginning to stir things up in Syria. He says, how many wars do you need to call it a world war? Political system is not working. The little guy, he just doesn't get heard. Nobody cares anything about the people anymore. He says he doesn't think that this is a good thing. He wants to live a free and peaceful life. He's worked hard all his life, and he's a few ounces of gold. He says it's not enough, but he has his food at least.
Well, he's done what he can, and that's fine, but the forces of life, the forces of existence on Earth, don't come tailor-made. And so what you have to do is you have to stop and think about what are the important things to you, because you have no control over it directly. I mean, if you became dictator, you would, but other than that, no. I mean, maybe influential, but no. And so you do the best you can. It's just like talking to other people. You talk to 100 people that you know, tell them what's going on. They all look at you strangely, except one. And they said, I couldn't figure it out. No, I can. Terrific. What can I read? So that's your ratio. People don't want to think. They don't want to do anything.
And that's all the questions I have today. I didn't give out the email address, discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. That is discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. Give us an email with a question for today. What do you expect to see next week?
I was just asked that in the other show, and it's up, up, and away.
Yes.
This thing is not going to stop until it stops. Where is that? I don't know, and neither does anybody else. We got a group over there at Goldman, J.P. Morgan Chase. They think it's going to be $2,500 before the end of the year. That's a barrier. They don't want it to go any higher than that because they think it is. So it's going to $3,000, $3,200 by the beginning of March. So why even think about it? Find more money and buy more. The opportunity of a lifetime. It's never, ever going to happen to you or your children, or your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Period. This is once, probably in 100 or 200 years, maybe 1,000 years. And I'm just lucky enough to be in the middle of it and understand it all. And why? I don't know. Why did I learn what I learned? I don't know. Why did my life take the course that it did? I don't know. All I know is we've been able to help an awful lot of people, and we're happy about that.
So any comment on what is happening in Syria?
Oh, it's all inspired by the United States government. They want the Russians out of that naval base, and they're not going to get them out. Maybe they're ready for war. We'll find out.
They said, didn't they say that Israeli was struck yesterday, and it actually came from Egypt? Is that what I heard?
I don't know. I know that 8 Israelis were killed yesterday.
Yeah, supposedly, I thought I saw that actually came from Egypt. But I mean, they are.
Well, that's terrible. But on the other hand, it would be nice if the Israelis stopped killing Palestinians out of hand, especially unarmed children and women. I mean, there's no excuse for that. That's inhuman. That's what something what Nazis would do. In fact, they are Nazis.
Yeah, in fact, I guess they're, I don't know how true this is, but it just says that the Palestinians say that Gaza is under a major assault now. So things certainly seem to be.
I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to go over and find out.
You're not going to go over there?
No.
You want to report live? You want to go there and report live next week, Bob? What else do you want to tell us to look for next week, Bob? Anything exciting?
Well, the market's going to be down on Monday unless something extraordinary happens. And they're no closer to making a debt deal in Europe than they were before. So that's a real problem.
Can the central banks, the Fed and the European central banks, can they actually merge?
No, I don't think the Constitution will allow that. But who cares? The euro's going down. It's just a question of when.
Pretty much everything, Bob. It's just it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
You know, usually when you get short covering in a market, it goes up at the end of the day before the weekend. And when you see stocks, I'm just looking, I just got the stock report, and you see a stock off to $2 on the day, had a high of 350 plus. In the last 15 minutes, it fell 38 cents. That's the government. Usually they're covering, not hitting. But they were all up 3 to 4% today. It's just disappointing. We have to fight our own government. The government is the enemy. How disgusting. Well, a time will come when they will pay big time. And I will assist in that.
And we are at the end of the hour, 1-800-375-4188 for your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster, and, of course, all your gold and silver coin needs here at Discount Gold and Silver. Again, 1-800-375-4188. We'll be back on Monday, so folks, be safe out there this weekend. Good night, and God bless. And thank you, Bob.
Thank you, too, and thank you all for listening.